everybody, and welcome back to the Star Wars Expanded Universe, now we dub by Disney or Lucasfilm, whichever way you slice it, Legends. Today I have for you something completely new for me because I skipped it my first time around. Crimson Empire 1 and 2. I think Randy Stradley was involved with this, if I because the Kindle versions don't really show it. Um, it's like at the bottom of a couple pages, so I think I read it correctly. But this is Crimson Empire, which takes place after Dark Empire, and is really interesting because it's the first time you actually get to really follow the Red Guards, because you have the Red Guards that follow Palpatine around, and they're supposed to be these really cool guys, but you don't get much with them. They're just kind of there, and they're around. And there's a guy named Connor Jax. He's trying to rise up in the ranks of the Empire and kind of carve out a path for himself to become Emperor. Meanwhile, um, Korkanos is a man that is not on the Empire side, not anymore. He was on Palpatine's side, much like, I guess, you know, Amara Jade, but with no force persuasion really there to do that. I mean, there might have been. I can certainly see Palpatine doing that to pretty much all of his subjects to just make them more willing to comply. But it mostly seems to just be out of loyalty to the man who gave him such a high rank. And because, um, well, there's a lot of stuff that kind of goes into certain things. I'll talk about it because it's not it doesn't like really affect the story. It's more like an afterthought or like I guess changes the context of Dark Empire. This is a part I really didn't like. I mean, I didn't hate it, but I was not a fan of it. Um, I don't like the idea that they come up with here that the clones were specifically by Connor Jax manipulated um, by his influence to make them unstable, so that way Palpatine would burn through them quicker, which, is kind of cool. It makes Connor Jack seem more of an intelligent foe, but I don't like the idea that one, Palpatine didn't know about this sabotage, and two, that it changes the context of Dark Empire because originally, Dark Empire, it was just that Palpatine was so powerful. The dark side could not be contained in these clone bodies. And now I guess it's still kind of there, but it's because they were purposely altered, which I don't like that. That being said, ignoring that detail that I am not a fan of, um, I mean, Kirkanos is like Boba Fett, but way cooler. He has a justifiable motivation for all that he does. He has more of a personality. Um, isn't a Gary Stu. I mean, it's explained why he's that good, and even still, he's not perfect because Connor Jax gets some good beat up on him near the end of the comic. And especially interesting because I believe it's implying that Connor Jax has the Force, though he hasn't really been able to manifest that or be trained with that. But basically, Kirkanos is just on a revenge mission. Everyone who betrayed the Emperor is going to die. And I mean, there's all the New Republic, but that's a harder thing to manage. But what he can do, which is more simple, is to take out all the people on the Empire side that went against the Emperor. So that starts with Connor Jax, and then the Crimson Empire too would go into this Imperial Council and so on and so forth. But Kurt Kanos is really cool character. Really enjoyed his look. Really enjoyed everything, involving him. He's kind of edgy in some parts, but I kind of love that, and he's just a really fun character to read about. We also have Murrith Zin, who's kind of his love interest. She's okay, I guess. I mean, she looks kind of funny. Like, she looks more alien than some of the aliens in the comic. And I don't know, she just seems like a Black Widow slash Mara Jade without the Force to me. She has a justifiable motivation for all that she does, and I totally get that. But I don't know, I just didn't vibe with her. But that's pretty much my thoughts on Crimson Empire 1, I guess. It's a fun comic. I don't think it's better than Dark Empire. I think the art, on one hand, looks really good, but on the other hand, also looks weird. So I'm kind of mixed on that. But that being said, I think Crimson Empire 1 is really solid. Before we get to Crimson Empire 2, there is, oh, I think it's from a Dark Horse, not Dark Horse Extra, but it's from a Tales. No, it's not a Tales. It's a one issue comic called Star Wars Bounty Hunters or something. Kennex Keel. Now, Kennex Keel is something that Korkanos is going under an alias of, which is a bounty hunter. So now we even have more parallels to Boba Fett, and Kur um, Kennex Keel reminds me of like RoboCop and Judge Dredd with his look. But uh, but yeah, so um, that that one shot was a lot of fun. I actually really enjoyed it, and I'm fairly certain that the artist is the at least one of the primary artists on the KOTOR comics because it looked very familiar, and so I think I'm right about that. And I love it. It's Kennex Keel basically convinces a bunch of because the Empire's trying to get him assassinated because beyond the New Republic, Kirkanos is the biggest threat, which, is cool, but at the same time, none of the novels reference this. I know because I've read them. If there is a mention, it's in like a sentence, so it's not in any way, shape, or form relevant to anything moving forward. So you will never ever hear, at least in any significant way, about Kirkanos in the novels. Regardless, um, he's Kennex Keel, a bounty hunter, and he convinces a bunch of bounty hunters to join him so they can finally defeat Kurkanos and bring him in. However, he is Kurkanos, so once he gets them sufficiently like into the woods, he systematically decimates all of them, which was just fun to watch, and it was a really cool, smart plan. So this is a really fun one little comic. Also, connection to the Boba Fett comics I talked about a couple weeks ago, because there is a Jadar uh, Buddha, or not Buddha, Kuda, which is like the two villains that the brothers that Boba Fett faced um, in those comics. So he's not a big role or anything, but it is most definitely, it has to be a reference. So I imagine this is like a cousin or something of those guys. But that was a lot of fun. Then we get to Crimson Empire 2. I really don't like this one as much. It's okay. I don't like the art in this one. It looks even weirder than the previous one. Um, I don't really care about this whole Imperial Council thing. I just don't. At this point in the timeline, apart from Palpatine returning, apart from everything that happened in X-Wing, apart from everything that happened with the Thrawn trilogy, this one just it feels weird. I mean, I guess it makes sense. It's fine, but Kirkanos is still trying to stop them. There's this really fat one. I forgot his name already, but he's working. This is the best part about the comic, by the way, but it's only because it is a reference to something much greater. Um, but the fat Imperial is working with a mysterious someone dark and mysterious. Who is this someone? Well, guys, it's Nom Anor. Now remember this because he will not matter for several decades moving forward. But just know he's involved with politics, he's tweaking things, messing with things, making sure that no one is unified, making sure the empire is divided, making sure the new republic is divided, making sure whatever else is divided, so that no one is unified when the Vong invade. And this is why Nominor is the little finger of the Star Wars expanded universe. Littlefinger being a character from Game of Thrones. His most famous quote being, "Chaos is a ladder." Kind of sounds like Nominor to me. Um, Also, Naminor's whole thing about messing with politics, doing all that, but never being the top dog, never being the big bad. That's, Palpatine, or that's Shimra, or that's other people, if you've read it, what I'm talking about. But all that being said, but he's there as like a high position, but not the most important, working the strings, only being out for himself, trying to reach the top. If you can't reach the top, make good with the people who are on top. Every case to make sure his existence is the best one. But that's way down the line with him. But it is really cool to see him in comic book form. You don't get to see his face or anything because, of course, the people writing this comic didn't really know much about Nominor. They just knew that there was an upcoming novel series that was going to involve that character because they asked, "Hey, can we connect this to your novels and stuff? Is there a character we can use?" And they said Nominor. Um, Now the armor seems pretty accurate to what I've from the novels, but his face is obscured. You're not allowed to see it. He just has this dark hoodie upon him. He says really vague things because the comic book writers don't know what he's all about. That being said, it was still really cool to see a Vong, even if he was shrouded in mystery, in a comic book form. Um, he's not very important, although he's just kind of doing stuff in the background. Um, and then Kirkanos and Mervzin, they have a fling, they have a relationship. It's fine, but I don't know. I don't think these 6 issues did it as well for me as Crimson Empire 1 did. I think it's okay. I don't think it's even good. I thought the previous one was legitimately good. This one is just it's fine. Um, but yeah, that is about it. Do I recommend Crimson Empire 1 and 2? Absolutely. I still think they're definitely worth your time. Also, a minor complaint I have is that there's a bunch of aliens in the council of the Imperials, and Matt also mentioned this in his review, but that just, I, I don't vibe with that. I know it's like there's different factions and they have different, and some even say we're only tolerating them, but it's still pretty early on. I just don't feel the Empire would be that accepting because they have like it'd be okay if it was just like one dude or two, but there's numerous like alien Empire people, and that just seems not the way it would be right now. But alas, but that's it, guys. Thank you all so much for watching. Next time, you'll be pissing your pants real soon when Negan Alex goes to talk about and defend the Jedi Academy trilogy. So I hope you stick around for that because that review is going to be a big review. And we'll show No One Quality Autism and other people PP Pan City real soon. Till then, guys, may the force be with you. And this is Kevin J. Anderson, the GOAT. And he is awesome. Enough of my Negan comparisons. I'll see y'all next time. Have a good one.